Morning friends, Clayton here from Plant Man by Clayton Nurseries in Townsend, Delaware. Today we are into a big project. I have 240 Green Giant Abrovitae liners coming in from Florida today. The Green Giant Abrovitae sales were such a success this year that I've got some more coming in for next season, and instead of planting them up in pots, I think they will grow on much faster if I plant them in the ground. So tag along and take a look at how I'm doing this. First of all, I want to show you the equipment that I use to open up new plots here at the nursery. When we moved here in 1996, one of my very first purchases was this 7-horsepower Troy-built horse. It's a rear tine tiller, does a tremendous job of opening up the soil, digging deep, and leveling it out as you go along. This thing has been a real workhorse for the last 25 years, and with just a little maintenance and upkeep and oil changes, etc., she's treated me really well. So what I've done is I've opened up a plot approximately 4 feet by 24 feet to accommodate the 240 Green Giant liners that I have coming in. I'll be able to plant them fairly close together because I'll be digging them up next year and potting them up for sale in the spring. Hopefully they'll be big enough by then. And one thing that I do is after I till down maybe 2 inches or so to loosen up the grass, I'll go through and I'll rake all that grass out of the plot. As you can see along the side here, I've gotten as much grass out of there as I can. In fact, before I even started this project, I laid some weed blocker down about 2 weeks ago to help kill off the grass in the area that I wanted to till. Now, I also amend the soil heavily. I had a lot of leftover used potting soil. If you look closely, you can see the perlite down there in the soil, and I spread that over the entire plot and rake that level. And I'm also going to use what's called a soil conditioner, which is basically organic pine bark mulch that has been ground down fairly fine. It adds a lot of bulk to the soil, and it also makes for very good drainage and aeration down to the roots of whatever you're planting. So I'm going to go ahead and spread this soil conditioner, and when my plants come in and we get to planting, I'll get back to you and we'll finish this project up. If you like my channel, please hit the like button and subscribe button. That way you won't miss any more of my upcoming videos. I'll be back to you shortly. Okay, I did want to mention, I've got my bags cut open with the utility knife, and I'll go along and dump this and rake it out. But I failed to mention to you that I will make one final pass with the rototiller after I get the conditioner spread and have the tiller set on its deepest setting. That way the soil conditioner will get worked down into the soil. I won't just leave it laying on the top. So that should make things really nice and friable, probably about 6 inches deep. All right, well, the Green Giant liners just arrived. 4 trays totaling 240. Unfortunately, the carrier who transported them from Florida up here to Delaware did not really follow the instructions on the side of the box about keeping this end up, because there were small plants out of their trays and laying all over the boxes. As you can see here, there are empty holes or cells in the trays. So I'm having to take the loose ones and get them planted right away. I was hoping to wait until Friday to plant the majority of these, but some of them are going to have to get in the ground. Here's an example of what I mean by a liner. These small plants have been started in these, I believe they're 32 cell trays. And they do have a nice established root system on them and are ready to go in the ground. Approximately 6 inches tall, and hopefully by next spring they'll be up to about 1.5 feet, 2 foot and ready for sale. I've opened up a line in the bed with this pointed trowel. I don't have to go too deep, so I don't even have to use a shovel or anything to put them in. And I'll just line them up, spaced out about 6 inches apart, and we'll start planting these. Here's a bucket where I put the loose ones in, and as you can see, there's not much soil on them and the roots are exposed, so I need to get them in the ground right away. Okay, so I've got some laid out in the trench, spaced out about as far as I would like to plant them. Even though I dug the trench shallow, it's still a little deeper than what I want to plant these, because as you can see by this one, it only needs to go down into the ground maybe 2 inches, because you really don't want to plant these any higher than what the root ball is. You want to leave the trunk and the remainder of the plant exposed. So I will actually backfill a little dirt like so, and then nestle him in there, and then backfill the rest of the way, just so he's not too deep and so the trunk is still actually exposed. You want to make sure all the roots are covered, but then again, you don't want to plant them deep like you'd be planting a tomato, etc. So let me go ahead and get these all in, and I'll shoot you a picture of what this looks like. Well, the first row is in the ground, spaced properly, planted to the proper depth, and it looks like by my count that I have 52 in this one row. So if my calculations are right, I have 240 plants to put in, so it'll be approximately 5 rows of approximately 50 each. So I have enough room to put 2 more rows to this side and 2 more rows to this side. So it looks like my row spacing will probably be about 10 to 12 inches in between rows. So I think I calculated properly, and I will be able to get all 240 in this plot. Now, after I get the entire plot planted, I will use some preen, which is a pre-emergent, to help keep the weed control down. I thought about putting weed barrier down similar to what I did over here with the sunflowers and burning holes in the weed blocker like I did here, to help me with weed control. But the issue that I thought about with that would be, when it comes time to dig these green giants up, they may be large enough where I won't be able to get a trowel down underneath of there, and I'll have to use a spade to dig these up. So in lieu of the weed blocker, I just decided to put them straight into the dirt. Another benefit of that will be they will be able to get much more water instead of just having to rely on the little bit of water that goes down inside each hole through the weed blocker. So I'm pretty happy with the results. So I'm going to go ahead and get as many of these in as I can today. I'll definitely post a picture at the end so you can see the finished product. More than likely, I will not fertilize these as small as they are. When they get a little growth on, I might put some slow release fertilizer down I don't want to burn them up. They're so small. I'm just going to let Mother Nature do its thing and let them draw their minerals and food from Mother Earth and see how well they do that way. All right, I'll be back to you. Thanks for watching. Well, there we have it, folks. 240 Green Giant Abrovitae liners are tucked away nicely in their new home, ready to put on new growth and be ready for sale next spring. All that's left to do is to give them some water. I'm waiting for the shade to come around to the back side of the yard so the trees can shade them. I don't want to water them in the direct hot sun, so I did put down a coating of preen, which is a weed preventer, and what it does is it blocks any weed seeds from germinating. And you can purchase that at any one of your big box stores or nursery centers. There's a picture of it. I'll have a link for it in the description. If you hit the more button down in the description underneath of the video, there's numerous links for a lot of your gardening needs that I've provided you. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Stop back and see me soon. And if you subscribe, you can check out all my other videos I have about gardening and helpful hints and tips. Well, you all have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.